Hi everyone and welcome to Diabolical Misconduct. It's true to say that the western US state of Colorado has seen more than its fair share of shootings. When it comes to school shootings, Columbine paved the way for the next school shooters in the state. Let's take a look at a few of those school tragedies. Just 8 miles from Columbine sits STEM school, Highlands Ranch. On the 7th of May 2019, two teenage boys entered the school and began terrorising students and faculty. The shooters managed to sneak their weapons in a guitar case and backpack, weapons they had stolen previously that day. 18-year-old Devin Erickson and 16-year-old Alec McKinney pulled out their weapons and told everyone not to move. With that, 3 students, Kendrick Castile, Brendan Bailey and Joshua Jones, jumped up and attempted to disarm Erickson. Erickson fired his weapon several times during the confrontation. Joshua was struck twice, once in the hip and once in the leg. Sadly, Kendrick died after being shot in the chest. Brendan finally managed to disarm Erickson. Meanwhile, Alec McKinney, born Mayor McKinney, shot and wounded multiple students. It is unclear whether it was Erickson's or McKinney's weapon that killed Kendrick. McKinney would later claim that his main targets were 3 students that had bullied him for being transgender, although he was also seeking to make as many other students suffer the way he says he had. After the gunmen had been arrested, they were interviewed by police, both stating that they had used cocaine prior to the shooting. McKinney told investigators that he had been planning the attack for weeks, and Erickson claimed he only found out about his friend's plans the night before, further claiming he only went along with the plan because he feared for his life if he didn't. Kendrick was labelled a hero following the tragic event, with fellow students stating he gave up everything to give them a chance at survival. His tragic death was the only fatality during this incident, although this was of little consolation to those that loved him. Alec McKinney would later go on to plead guilty to 17 counts ranging from first-degree murder to possession of a handgun by a juvenile. McKinney could receive a maximum of life plus 407.5 years in prison. However, due to his age, he could be eligible for release after serving 20 years under the 2016 state law. Erickson has gone not guilty and his case is still pending, with his defense lawyers maintaining that he had no intent to hurt or kill anyone and that he was acting under duress. I will update this case in the future. On the 13th of December 2013, at a school 15 minutes from Columbine, 18-year-old Kyle Pearson entered Arapahoe High School armed with a shotgun, a machete, 3 Molotov cocktails, and approximately 125 rounds of ammunition. He asked for the librarian at the school and proceeded to look for him. He shot off several rounds as he went about his assault on the school. The librarian found out that he was the target and took himself off the school grounds in the hopes that Pearson would follow him away from the school, leaving students and staff unharmed. However, this sadly did not materialise. He would eventually happen upon Claire Davies, who was sat with a friend, and proceed to shoot her at point blank range in the head. Pearson attempted to start a fire with one of the Molotov cocktails he had brought with him. It was also reported that another student sustained minor gunshot injuries. That day, the deputy sheriff was working at the school, and when he was alerted to the threat, he immediately jumped into action. It is believed that Pearson knew the deputy was close by, so he ran into the back of the library and took his own life. 17-year-old Claire Davies was rushed to hospital after the attack. She was in a coma before she sadly passed away 8 days later from her injuries. This was intensely heartbreaking for her family, friends and teachers. An investigation into the school shooting would unearth a diary written by Pearson that would offer a disturbing insight into his mental state. It confirms his main target was the librarian. This is a passage from the journal. Tuesday, September 17, 2013. Enter Project Saguntum, a 10-year subconscious program for me to exact revenge. Not on the individuals who perpetrated wrong, instead those I believe have done me wrong. I will shoot my school, Arapahoe High School, before the year is over. I hope to choose a day with the following criterion. Final week, everyone is at school, and it will be winter during final weeks. I hope I can find a day it is actually snowing, or just incredibly cold. I am a psychopath with a superiority complex. On the day of the shooting, he writes the following. Friday, December the 13th, 2013. Today is going to be fun. I went to Walmart, bought some ammo. I then dressed my weapons, loaded my belts, got my backpack ready. I then went to Brunswick, Bold. I got some Mountain Dew. I bought it for the glass bottles. I'm gonna make some Molotov cocktails, shaken, not stirred. Update, 45 minutes. I built my Molotov cocktails and I think they look great. I only had oil for 3, but I think 3 will be more than enough. am dressed to kill. Long underwear, then cargo pants, Under Armour shirt, CCCP shirt. I have my machete on my belt. I may reattach that in the car. The plan. 5th hours start at 12:14. I would want to strike 15 minutes into the hours. Everyone is settled in. 12:30. Initial strike on. Enter the trophy hallway. Waltz into. Shoot up. Toss a Molotov cocktail. Reload. 12:35. Assault. 12:40. Assault. 12:45. Assault. 12:50. Assault on. This really was a sad and tragic event. Many of the people that knew Carl Pearson would say they were incredibly surprised at his actions. They never would have imagined him doing something like this. And the loss of Claire Davies was a tragic waste of a bright young future. With these shootings being so close to the infamous Columbine, the next logical step would be to take a look at the diabolical events of the 20th of April 1999. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold entered the school with the intention of killing as many people as possible. Earlier that morning, the pair had placed propane bombs in the cafeteria, which they set to detonate at the busiest lunch hour, hoping to kill hundreds of students. They then planned to shoot the survivors as they fled the building. The cafeteria bombs failed to detonate, therefore the gunmen began firing. At 11:19 a.m., 17-year-old Rachel Scott was with friend Richard Castaldo. They were having lunch on the grass at the west entrance of the school. Rachel was shot 4 times and killed instantly. Castaldo was shot 8 times and fell unconscious. He was left paralysed from the chest down. Gunmen fired down a staircase towards Daniel Rover, killing him. Sean Graves and Lance Kirkland were left with gunshot injuries. The gunmen then fired upon 5 students. Michael Johnson was shot multiple times but managed to escape. Mark Taylor was also shot several times, fell to the ground and played dead. The other 3 escaped the scene. Klebold was heading for the cafeteria when he came across injured Lance Kirkland, who was laying on the ground bleeding. Lance asked Klebold for help, to which he replied, "Sure, I'll help you." Then he shot Lance in the face with his shotgun, critically wounding him. While Klebold went to check the bombs in the cafeteria, Harris was firing at students, severely wounding Anne-Marie Hochhalter, leaving her partially paralysed. During the attack, the pair set off several pipe bombs, only a few of which would actually detonate. Teacher Patty Nielsen would hear the commotion and, believing it was some kind of prank, went to tell the boys to stop it. She and the student approached the noise, and as they opened the door, the gunmen shot out the windows, injuring student Brian Anderson with flying glass and wounding Patty's shoulder with shrapnel. The wounded pair then ran back to the library, with Patty warning the students inside about the shooters before dialing 911.
Jefferson County 911.
Yes, I am a teacher at Columbine High School. There is a student here with a gun. He has shot out a window. I believe one
I've been Columbine High School.
I don't know what's in my shoulder. If it was just a last beat or what.
Okay, has anybody been injured, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And the school is in a panic. And I'm in the library. I've got students down under the tables, kids. Heads under the tables. Kids are screaming. Some of the teachers are, trying to take control of things. We need police here.
Okay, we're getting them there.
Police here.
Who is the student, ma'am?
I do not know who the student is.
Okay.
I saw a student outside. I was in hall duty. Oh, God. Okay. I was on hall duty. I saw a gun. I said, "What's going on out there?" And he said, "Oh, it's probably for video production. It's probably a joke." I said, "Well, I don't think that's a good idea." And I went walking outside. I could see what was going on. He turned the gun straight at us and shot. And my God, the window went out. And the kid standing there with me, I think he got hit.
Okay.
Something in my shoulder.
Okay. We've got help on the way, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Stay on the line with me.
Oh, God. Hey, kids, just stay down.
Do we know where he's at?
I'm sorry?
Do we know where he's at?
Okay. I'm in the library. He's upstairs. He's right outside of here.
He's outside?
He's outside of this hall.
Outside of the hall or outside?
This hall. Of the
Okay.
library. There are alarms and things going off now. Smoke. My God, smoke is like coming into this room.
Okay.
I've got the kids under the table here. I don't know what's happening in the rest of the building. There's also got smoke in the building. I don't know. I'm sure someone has to be calling 911 besides
Yes,
you.
we've got a lot of people on. Okay. I just want you to stay in the line with me. We need to know what's going on.
Okay.
Okay?
I am on the floor.
Okay. And you've got the kids
in the
there?
library. And I've got every student in this library on the floor. You better stay on the floor.
Is there any way you can lock the doors?
Smoke is coming in from out there, and I'm a little afraid. The gun is right outside the library door, okay? I don't think I'm going to go out there. Okay, you're at Columbine High School? I got 3 children. Okay, we got it. Okay? I'm not going to go to the door to shut the door, okay? I've got the kids on the floor. I got all the kids in the library on the floor.
We have paramedics, we have fire, and we have police en route, okay, sir?
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
just, I mean, I don't know. I can't believe he's not out of the woods. He just keeps shooting and shooting and shooting.
Okay, yeah, we've got a police officer on scene. Okay, just try and keep the kids in the library calm.
Yeah.
Is there any way you can block the door so no one can get in?
I do not.
Okay.
I guess I can try to go, but he's right outside that door. I'm afraid to go to the door.
That's okay.
That's where he is. I'm not afraid to go there, okay?
That's okay.
Okay, I told the kids to get on the floor. I told them to get under the table. All of the children are on the floor under the table. Yeah, they're all under the table.
Okay.
And
as long as we can just try and keep...
No one's saying a word.
Okay, as long as we can keep everyone there as calm as we can.
I hear something yelling out there going on right now.
Yeah, we've got alarms going off now as well.
Yeah, there's alarms. This room is filled with smoke.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep everyone low to the floor.
Yeah. Everyone's up. Okay. Everyone stay on the floor. Stay on the floor. Stay under the table.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I know, just...
I don't know. I didn't... I said, what is that kid got? He was outside at the time. And I was on call duty. Oh, God. He's trying, he's like, woo-hoo-hoo.
I know.
Things are being shut off. I do not know who the student was. I don't even think I saw him. He was wearing black. He didn't look very large. Male student. He was out there shooting. It looked like he was pointing out and shooting. And somebody, I said, what is that? I said, what's going on with this? This wiretap gun is probably for video production. You know, they do these videos.
Right.
And the kids, I said, well, that's not, a play gun, a real gun. I was going out there to say no. And I went, oh my God, that was really close. That just rattled me.
Okay.
At 11:23, an assigned officer at the school, Deputy Gardner, became aware of the shooting and made his way to apprehend the gunman. On seeing the officer, Harris fired 10 rounds at him. The officer returned fire, and after reloading his weapon, Harris shot back before making his way into the building. When Claiborne came upon Stephanie Munson, he shot her in the ankle. She would, however, bravely walk out of the building. The gunman shot towards everyone they saw, missing many but striking plenty. At 11:26, Harris again started firing at Deputy Gardner, who again returned fire. 2 other deputies had arrived on scene. One deputy, Smoker, fired at Harris before he again disappeared into the building. In the main hallway, teacher Dave Sanders was with a student when they encountered the gunman. They both attempted to flee the area as they were being fired at. Dave Sanders was shot in the back and the neck. Sanders had previously been evacuating students from the cafeteria and was later memorialized as a hero. The student, Kevin Starkey, attempted to aid the teacher, but this was sadly unsuccessful. Dave Sanders would die of his injuries. Inside the library, Patty was still connected to 911 when Harris and Claiborne entered.
What's your name, ma'am?
My name is
Patty?
He's yelling everybody get up right now. He's in the library. He's saying everybody get up right now.
Okay.
He's in the library. I have him in the library shooting at students. He's a lady that I have in the library on the phone.
Okay, try and keep as many people down as we can. Okay. Do you know who he is? Okay.
Claiborne fired his weapon at Kyle Velazquez, hitting him in the head and back. This was fatal. During the shooting in the library, the gunmen made statements such as anyone with a white hat is dead. They shouted about how long they had waited for this moment. Claiborne shouted, all jocks stand up, and when no one moved, he said, fine, I'll just start shooting. He fired his shotgun, injuring Patrick Ireland, Daniel Stapleton, and Mackay Hall. Harris fired under a desk, killing Stephen Kerner with a shot to the neck. He then shot under the next desk, injuring Katie Ruegseger. He would then turn and walk to another table and shoot Cassie Bernal in the head, killing her instantly. At this point, the shotgun Harris was using sprung back in recoil and hit him in the face. Claiborne spotted Patrick Ireland attempting to help an injured Mackay Hall, and in response fired a shot which, after striking Ireland in the head, knocked him unconscious. He would fortunately survive. Claiborne approached 18-year-old Isaiah Schultz, 16-year-old Matthew Kechter, and 16-year-old Craig Scott, the younger brother of Rachel Scott. Klebold shouted over to Harris, "I've got a nigger." Harris joined in, and the pair fired, killing Isaiah and Keter. Craig Scott lay motionless in the blood of his friends, pretending to be dead. He would later walk out unharmed. 17-year-old Mark Kingan was shot in the shoulder and the head by Harris. Harris then turned and fired at a table, injuring Lisa Kreutz, Orrin Townsend, and Verlene Schnorr with the same shotgun blast. Klebold then moved towards the trio, firing his Tech 9, killing Lauren. Next in line were Nicole Nowell and John Tomlin. Harris fired at them, injuring them both. When John, in panic, moved, Klebold shot him multiple times, killing him. 16-year-old Kelly Fleming sat quietly next to a desk when Harris killed her. He would then fire at Lauren Townsend's dead body, shoot Lisa Kreutz again, and then fire at Jenna Park, leaving her with survivable injuries. John Savage, a friend of Klebold, was hiding under a table when Klebold approached him. John asked him if he was going to kill him. Klebold let John live and told him to run. Harris then fired a shot which hit Daniel Mauser in the ear. Daniel responded by grabbing at Harris, who then ended the confrontation by shooting Daniel in the head, killing him. Both shooters began firing wildly, injuring Jennifer Doyle and Austin Eubanks, and ending the life of Corey DePuta. At 8 minutes past 12, the two gunmen ended the brutal attack on the school by taking their own lives. Police would later be criticised in regards to how long it took them to enter the school and rescue the injured and hiding victims. It's safe to say response time and response tactics have changed significantly since the Columbine massacre. Harris and Klebold were troubled young men and had been planning the assault on the school for quite some time, leaving behind tapes that would later be known as the basement tapes. Journals would also be recovered. Here is an extract from Harris's journal. "I hate the world. Too much goddamn too many thoughts in different societies all wrapped up together in this place called America. Everyone has their own goddamn opinions on every goddamn thing. And you may be saying, well, what makes you so different? Because I have something only me and B1 have. Self-awareness. Call it existentialism or whatever the we know what we are to this world and what everyone else is. We learn more than what caused the Civil War and how to simplify quadratics in school. We have been watching you people. We know what you think and how you act. All talk and no actions. People who are said to be brave or courageous are usually just stupid. Then they say later that they did it on purpose because they are brave when they did it. God, everything is so corrupt and so filled with opinions and points of view and people's own little agendas and schedules. This isn't a world anymore. It's HO2 and no one knows it. Self-awareness is a wonderful thing. I know I will die soon, so will you and everyone else. The mindset of Harris was highly disturbing. The shooting would pave the way for countless more unnecessary shootings in the surrounding area and the wider American community. The vast devastation of a mass shooting is something that cannot easily be ignored and certainly shouldn't be. There has to be a change someday. I hope it is someday soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.